Swallowed Star 509 Decision. Chapter 509 Decision. Si-Young was the world city leader of this side of the world. According to the universe levels, he was a sector lord. The Golden Horned Beast and Masha clansmen were only at Domain Lord level 6, and the Domain Lord and Sector Lord's biggest difference was the ability to unleash the strength of a world. They were able to control the world within them to allow their strengths to reach a shocking level, making the difference between a Domain Lord level 1 and Sector Lord level 1 extremely huge. Meeting Si-Young right now would really be suicide. Luo Feng understood, communicating to Babata. Babata, that Si-Young is the world city leader of this side. What do you think I should do next? Even though he had a plan already, asking Babata was still good. After all, Babata's experience in solving problems was much more vast. Flee, hurry, and flee, the further the better. Babata said, since he's the world city leader of this side, then the distance from the world city to Swallowmound City should be about 100 million kilometers. At light speed, 300,000 kilometers per second, the message would have taken about half an hour for him to receive. However, if he uses his top speed to rush over. Top speed. Luo Feng frowned. 100 million km would still take a sector lord pretty long. Even the two domain lords had a ship. That sector lord would most definitely have one too. A universe ship barely reaching light speed in Blood River Continent would allow him 3 hours to reach here. Babata said, however, when I killed the envoy, I was always wearing a mask. Luo Feng said, don't rely on luck. Swallowmound is after all only that big. How would you know if within this time someone else has already noticed you? Remember, as long as there's a hint of danger, do not risk it. Also, don't look down on any sector lords. Babata said, I have said what I needed to say. You can decide for yourself. You are saying that I may have been exposed? Luo Feng frowned. Leave. After finding out about Envoy Mo, sending the footage of him killing the other envoy to Si-Young, Luo Feng immediately decided to leave. If he flew out of the 18 levels of clouds and sat in his automaton ship, who would be able to find him? Only thing was, even though he was safe himself, what about Nabu and Na-Ku? If he was truly exposed, then these two would definitely be affected. The small Na family, against a raging sector lord, would instantly be razed into the ground. What about the Na family? Luo Feng asked. What Na family? Babata asked curiously. Luo Feng swiftly gave a brief summary of what happened earlier. That is troublesome indeed. The Na family's relationship with you, even though very few people know about it, and it isn't noticeable, with the sector lord's ability, and this being his territory, checking and finding out wouldn't be hard. How about this way, Luo Feng? You can rush over to Swallowmound City now and meet the father of the Na family. Let them decide for themselves if they want to leave with you or remain in Swallowmound City. If they come with you, you can bring them both to a different side of the world. This continent's different sides of the world are just like your countries. They are competitive and at war. If they flee to another side, even Si-Young would not be able to find them in the vast sea of people. Luo Feng nodded. Then let's do that. He couldn't care about absorbing the Blood River crystal at the moment. Taking care of it after the matters were resolved wouldn't be too late. So, Luo Feng tore through the skies into the clouds, swiftly reaching Swallowmound City at a shocking speed. Swallowmound City, the night was bustling with activity. Na Mansion. What's going these few days? First, the elder of the Pure Feather family was dead. Now even the city leader's mansion has become a battlefield. Nabu stood against the railing in the 3rd story of his mansion, leaning and gazing at the distant city leader's mansion. Nabu. Komein. A voice suddenly resounded. Nabu was shocked. Though he was shocked, he turned and walked in and saw a black-armored black-haired youth sitting there. Nabu was suspicious. This late at night, just what has brought this mysterious warrior to my house? Lord Feng. Nabu bowed. Wait a moment. Luo Feng sat there. Jia. The door below creaked open and footsteps could be heard climbing the stairs. Very quickly, Nake appeared too and rushed into the house. Seeing Luo Feng, he said excitedly, Big brother Feng, you've come. Why have you called me to come over? Nabu was even more suspicious. Why has this mysterious warrior gathered them both? Time is of the essence now. I won't go through formalities with you too. I'll give you a quick summary of the situation. Luo Feng emphasized. Nabu was shocked, saying, Lord Feng, please speak. Luo Feng swiftly explained to them about the situation. Nabu's face grew paler as he listened, completely shocked, my God. The family leader of the Pure Feather family, elder, Rockwind family's general, city leader, even 2 special envoys, they were all killed by this mysterious warrior before them. This. Envoys of the Undying Shrine. This mysterious warrior was too terrifying. Naba's face was pale, and little Naku was completely stunned too. These were all legendary figures. That's how things are, Naku, Nabu, you choose. Luo Feng emphasized. To remain in Swallow Mound City, or allow me to bring both of you away. If you stay here, there's a high possibility of being exposed. Nabu frowned. Within his mind, he calculated. Naka's mind was in a mess too. Luo Feng sat in the chair looking at the father and son, and felt rather guilty towards them. If it weren't for him, these 2 would probably be able to lead a very normal life. However, because of his arrival, the Na family was thus dragged into danger itself. Nabu gritted his teeth. Have you decided? Luo Feng looked at Nabu. Right. Nabu nodded. I'm prepared to remain here in Swallow Mound City, living my normal life. However, I wish for Lord Feng to take my son and leave Swallow Mound City. Father. Little Naka's eyes were red. He shouted, I don't want to leave you. Don't make a fuss. Nabu roared. Father. Little Naku was about to cry. Luo Feng quietly watched the scene. He could only remain silent. Lord Feng, it has to be this way. I believe it because my contact with you has been very minimal. Also, so what if we recognize each other? We've only met 2 or 3 times. It cannot be considered a deep relationship. That and the city world leader wouldn't necessarily be able to find out who the killer is. Nabu smiled. The most important thing is, I can't bear. Naba's eyes were filled with sorrow. I can't bear to leave my family business.
Luo Feng nodded. Nabu, for your safety, before I go, I will use my soul techniques to wipe your memory of tonight. Then even when others use soul techniques to interrogate you, they won't be able to find anything. That's good. Nabu nodded, following which a look of longing appeared on his face. Lord Feng, can you leave me and Kuku for a while? No problem. Luo Feng walked out of the house to the study beside and waited patiently. Luo Feng felt a bitter feeling within. Within the house, Nabu and Naku were saying their goodbyes. Don't cry. Nabu smiled and looked at his son. Father. Little Naku was crying madly. He had grown up being pampered by his father, however when it was really time to separate, he couldn't bear to leave. We must always look at things from different perspectives. Nabu looked seriously at his son. Kuku, there's always a good and bad side to everything. For us to meet Lord Feng this time, it may seem like a disaster since we have to separate, but you must understand, this Lord Feng could have easily left by himself. But he purposely came to look for us. What does it mean? It means he favors us and he is apologetic about this. Fortune and misfortune are linked. This may be a disaster for the Na family, it is also a chance for our family to greatly rise up. Naba's eyes gleamed. Blood River Continent, every day tens of millions of people die and countless more risk their lives just to simply find a strong teacher. This Lord Feng is an absolute warrior. Didn't you hear? Even the elder of the Pure Feather family, our city leader, and the 2 special envoys from the Undying Shrine were all killed by him. What terrifying level of power is this? On this continent wealth is nothing. Only strength is real. Nabu looked at Naku. Kuku, you have hopes of becoming an absolute warrior of this large continent. In the future you may even become the leader of an entire territory, controlling the lives of trillions of people. Naku was shocked. Remember. This is a great opportunity, grab it. Nabu looked at his son. After I die, I'll have the face to meet our Na family ancestors. Understood? Naka's eyes were watery, yet he nodded fiercely. Very good. Nabu revealed a smile. He rubbed his son's head and gently hugged him, saying softly, "Your father's biggest worry is his son. Our Na family doesn't have enough military strength. Just like the Yu family, without any strength they had to be uprooted within a night. I was worried about you. Your personality is different from mine. I was able to establish the business, but your personality, now it's okay, I don't need to worry anymore." Naku could only cry within his father's embrace. After a while, within the building, Luo Feng stood before Nabu, emphasizing, "I will wipe your memory of this night. After which you won't even know where your son went. Go ahead, if I don't know, there's no way for others to know." Nabu smiled and nodded. Luo Feng nodded. Immediately a thread of spirit energy invaded Nabu's soul. Wanting to analyze and swallow one's memory was difficult. Normal soul-searching techniques was more troublesome, destroying however was easy. Simply wiping a part of a memory was extremely easy. This can even be achieved simply through hypnosis, that alone was enough to leave an imprint and seal the memory. As the disciple of the soul master Hu Yenbo, this level of surgery didn't have any difficulty for Luo Feng. After a while, what's going on? Nabu's head was in a blur. Looking around the empty house and finding himself sitting in his study, did I just fall asleep? Nabu had completely forgotten what happened before. He didn't even know that his son had already left Swallow Mound City with Luo Feng.